subscribers and hello YouTube viewers. Now on this occasion I'm not sure what this place is. It's definitely abandoned, most likely being taken over by developers, and as I was going through the Google Maps I just stumbled across it purely by coincidence. I was looking for something else in the area and this just caught my eye, so I'll have a look, and if I can find out anything about it when the drone goes up, if it's possible. It's not too windy, so I'm expecting that to happen, but we'll go and explore this abandoned building. And I think it's more than just a house. It could be anything from a hospital, some sort of resort, some sort of hotel. I'm not sure, but we'll have a look together and let's see what it all is. As we can see, there's two large buildings. I'm assuming there must be a few more buildings. It's got very much like a hotel feel about it, but I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, so as I've just mentioned, I've just stumbled into this place by mistake. I was looking for something else, and for some reason this just caught my eye. You can see the scaffolding up, or the fencing I should say, that's all been tipped over. I'd imagine it's been abandoned for quite some time. And this is prime land, so this land has got a huge dollar figure to it. But what it is, your guess will be good as mine. Hopefully I might be able to bump into someone that's a local who might be able to fill us in on what it actually is. Could it be a school of some sort? I really can't say, but we'll go have a look. It's a lovely day, not too many clouds in the sky, so I expect to be able to get the drone up as well. Well, as you can see, I'm right along the coastline of Port Phillip Bay, and as you can see, everything's overgrown. As we make our way up, a lot of graffiti have been through. The building has been pretty much stripped of anything of value, and the graffitists have had a great time here. And I'd say there's a huge flock of pigeons that reside in the house. There's one that's stuck, not quite sure how to get out. So yeah, it could be a campsite for back in the day, maybe back in the 30s and 40s, some sort of campsite. I could see there being rows of bunk beds, I guess. It doesn't look like a military barracks at all. It's a little bit too pretty for that, as in the design of the architecture. I'm assuming that's obviously where the toilets are, just down there. And yeah, okay, so this is the first floor, not much to it. I would have had a great view of Port Phillip Bay, passing ships back in the day. Yeah, this has been absolutely taken over by birds. So as you can see, it's got quite a number of arches on the ground level. I'm back downstairs again. And it could be just a hotel. Not 100% sure, but we'll keep looking and see what we see. It looks like people have damaged a lot of stuff, but the building itself is too far gone. Nothing's worth salvaging out of this place, and I'm just going to assume that developers are just basically waiting to proceed with council approval, or it could be a case where it could be a case of they've just run out of money. Now, there is something I'll show you. I'll go downstairs here first, have a look, and I'll show you what I have found. It might give us a bit of a clue of what this used to be. Wow, someone's kicked in the door here. Not sure what this is. There's another door there. We'll have a bit of a sticky beak. It's a huge space. It really is. I'm starting to think this might be more of a resort. As we go through this door, I just got a peep of what appears to be maybe a swimming pool. What do you think? Does that look like a swimming pool? It does to me. So it's like a health spa? Some sort of health resort? Could it be some sort of exclusive camp? Not sure. But I'll show you once we step out. And I think that's it for this side. Yeah, we can't get in. This building's pretty much, that's it. Now you can see that there's an old-fashioned spotlight, and I'd say just on that landing there, before you see that paling fence and the green hedges there for the neighbours, could that have been like a tennis courts or some sort of field to play on? Not sure. But I'll show you something that I just saw. And it's just, I've just got to climb up this hill as we make our way to that next building. So that's the landing. I'm assuming might have been tennis courts, or I don't think it would have been a cricket pitch or a football. It's just too small, but definitely for tennis or something, basketball. And this is what I might look up. In what, it's got a block name, so Charles Connerbury block. I'll look that up and see what all that's about, if I don't tell you earlier, when the drone goes up with the voiceover. So that's the back half, and we're just going to make our way to that building here. I'm going to assume there's probably a few more buildings that have already been demolished for whatever reason. I don't believe it to be a church of any type. Well, it looks like there's been a fire in this one, which is a bit sad. Is it heritage listed and we can't touch it? I don't know. And maybe that's a problem for the developers, or they've run out of money or something. Something's happened. Now I'll give you an idea where I am. I can only zoom in so far. Way in the distance you can see the Melbourne skyline. Okay, so we'll have a look at this one. I'm looking for any plaques that might be on the building itself, but it doesn't look like to be anything so far, and hopefully there might be something indoors. But yeah, there's definitely been a fire here. Was it once a private school? Don't know. Cannot say. Yeah. Taking a bit of hiding, this building. They've tried to seal it up the best they can to make it probably safer from or deter vandals and graffitists and those opportunists that like to steal things, like the copper wiring. Now see, this right here looks such like a formal entry to like to someone's spatial home. Don't know if I'm getting it all in the picture. See, that looks like something very special. Is it the entry to a school? I don't think it's a prison. Could it be a... I don't want to say too much because I don't know. It's all a big of a guess. Could it be a a state home for children. Not sure, but it's definitely all closed up. And there is a sign up there that says the Mount Eliza Centre, and that's the Sumner Memorial Block. So I think with that sort of information, we're able to do a bit of a Google search and see what all this is about. So we'll still stay with this building. Has it been all boarded up? Yep. That's great. Okay, so they've actually done a good job on this occasion, and no one can actually get in. So they're trying to preserve this particular building as best as they can. So that's a big plus. You can see where a portion of the building's already been removed. Okay, so that's once again the Port Phillip Bay. So we'll just come this way. Looks once again dump tyres. That's pretty much a standard feature. Now there is something through here. Not sure what, but we'll go through. It's overgrown, and as we can see, whoop, hey, mind those trees. Some sort of storage thing under the earth. You really wouldn't call it a bunker of any sort. There's definitely some sort of storage that's very well hidden now. It's like the Bat Cave, the Batman. Very fascinating. So we've got some formal stairs that takes you up a level, and we'll go up them and turn around and see what this place looks like from up there. Okay, so this is the parking area, and I think we've found a sign that might help us better understand what we're looking at. So it does have a medical feel of it. So you've got an education centre, you've got wards and a admissions office. So I'm not really sure. Psychiatric centre for back in the day. Private hospital for back in the day. I'm not sure. It doesn't have a eerie feeling of it. Maybe a hospice for the end of days. You'd come here maybe. I'm not sure. But at least we've got a better idea of what this is. So I think this has been vacant for quite some years. Yeah, it's all overgrown. There could be further buildings in there. But the neighbouring properties are very much huge, or as many would say, they're described as McMansions. Yeah, this is probably the administration area. There's a number of entrances, and I'm assuming there must be parking and other buildings that were once here that are no longer with us. And they've very much tried their best to protect this main structure, and maybe that's got some sort of heritage overlay on it. There's one more little building over there. We'll have a look, see what it is. It's been hit by graffiti. It's a very peaceful place, I can tell you that. That looks like more of a formal sort of entry if you're coming by foot. But we'll go and have a look, and we'll see what it is. So there was obviously workers here. They've got a portaloo for whatever reason. Yeah. See, that looks still in very good condition. It's just sad that people have had to hit it with graffiti and try to strip it of any valuables or recyclables. This looks like a small chapel to me. Yeah, this looks very much like some sort of small non-denomination chapel that's structurally sound. I'll see if I was going to say if I can put the camera in, or someone's gotten in here already. So we'll take a look. Once again, I'm a strong advocate of not breaking into anything. Do not damage anything. If you are exploring, do not force entry to anything. And yeah, so we're inside. This does look like some sort of chapel. Not sure if it's coming through that well. Yeah, it's in really good condition. I wouldn't take that much paint to make it good again. A lot of graffiti. Here's probably the only structural problem with the building, this part here, but that's an easy fix. Got a little kitchenette. So there you have it. Just come around the front, and that's about it. Yeah, all the windows have been smashed out. It's a bit of a worry, but other than that, it seems fine. All right, I think we're going to see a lot more, and possibly buildings that we can't discover on foot once the drone goes up. I do like little pillars there. Definitely some sort of church. Okay. Now I can tell you that there's quite a number of CCTV cameras to protect the property, which is great. I think anyone that's invested in a property, regardless of whether or not the buildings are going to remain or not, shouldn't have their stuff damaged or stuff stolen from it. It's a big property. It's got absolutely commanding views. A developer does anything with this, he could absolutely throw hundreds and hundreds of apartments with bay views in a very secluded sort of area. So it will be interesting to find out what actually has occurred. I don't see any more dwellings. I can see the footprint of other buildings, but they've all been removed. So whatever was going to be removed has been removed, and maybe the buildings that we've just seen, for whatever reason, maybe have to remain. Okay. So this is just gives you an idea how close the buildings that we've just seen is to Port Phillip Bay. It's very close. Walking distance, not an issue. A lot of walking tracks, and you could walk on this track here and not even know these buildings are less than 20 metres away. The only giveaway is this little passage here, and then you discover those buildings there that was once leading to whatever the complex was. So there you go. So these are the walkways you can take. Bring your dog here for a walk. I'm sure you could ride your bike along here, electric or otherwise. But a very interesting find, something that I didn't expect, and it's turned out to be quite good, so I'm very curious how the drone pictures things from an aerial view. Now I can give you an update of this location after the research, and can tell you that it used to be the Children's Orthopaedic Hospital of Mount Eliza. Then it became an aged care facility, and then an administration office for Peninsula Health Council. And then finally it went to developers, and this is what you see now. Now, the Children's Orthopaedic Hospital here in Mount Eliza did operate from 1930 to 1971, and during the course of this drone footage there will be a number of historical photos actually highlighting what the facilities actually look like, including some of the wards. And I also just want to point out that this is courtesy of the Royal Children's Hospital webpage, and all the references and links will be in the description below. Now, just also as a heads up, when the historical photos do pop up, there will be information that's actually on the photo themselves. So by all means, press pause, have a read, and then continue on with the video. So the first half of the 12th century saw crippling childhood diseases, tuberculosis of the bones and joints, osteomyelitis and poliomyelitis spread through communities. These diseases were highly contagious and left many children with permanent disability. The Children's Hospital in Carlton did not have the capacity or the resources to handle the influx of children needing long-term care due to these debilitating diseases. Many medical staff at the hospital had served in the First World War and undertaken medical training in Europe. They witnessed the development of orthopaedic and rehabilitation treatments used on returned soldiers, and believed these new treatments could also benefit children. One such treatment was heliotherapy, championed by Swiss doctor Augustin Rollier. Heliotherapy was designed to expose a patient to the healing powers of the sun and fresh air in a bid to kill bacteria, increase vitamin D levels, and improve immune function. Special buildings called sanatoriums with long open air balconies were constructed across Europe. Heliotherapy became a popular method of treating bones and joint diseases. The Committee of Management at the Children's Hospital raised funds to build an orthopaedic hospital dedicated to treating children suffering from orthopaedic diseases. Opened in 1930 with 80 beds, the Children's Orthopaedic Hospital in Mount Eliza was the crown jewel of the hospital due to its beautiful architecture and location, and would continue to be so for over 40 years. By the 1930s, 1/3 of hospital expenditure was on the treatment and aftercare of crippled children. Treatment techniques included heliotherapy, physiotherapy, and occupational therapy. The progressive philosophy behind these treatments led to the development of pediatric rehabilitation and allied health services. The mid-1950s saw major breakthroughs in vaccine research and development. The first polio vaccine was introduced to Australia in 1956, and by the 1960s, vaccines prevented epidemics of infectious diseases from raging Victorian communities, dramatically reducing the disease burden on our population. By 1971, a hospital facility like Mount Eliza was no longer required, and the remaining patients were transferred to the new Parkville Hospital. After the hospital closed down, the buildings were used as an aged care facility, then administration offices by the Peninsula Health Council. In 2019, the site was sold to developers for $17.5 million. Now I'll just jump in here with a bit more voiceover, and I just wanted to say that I was more fascinated with the history of this place than actually going through it. Yes, it was very much an abandoned area. Not sure what the developers are actually now going to do with the place now that we know that most of the buildings that are still standing are heritage listed. All I can say is I'm glad I made the effort to stop, and the history behind it was more fascinating than the actual visit. So here we are nearing the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Something a bit different, spur of the moment sort of explore, I guess. Look, if you did like the video, by all means click on that like button or that thumbs up icon. Please consider subscribing. Subscribing does not cost you 1 cent, but it really does help the channel immensely. But most importantly, stay safe, commute safe, and have a great day. And thanks for watching, and bye for now.